Nowhere in Canadian history books, in primary schooling or secondary schooling, will you find the truth about Aboriginals and what happened as a result of the Europeans.
We need to recognize and acknowledge Aboriginal peoples here in Quebec, in Canada, in the rest of the world, and it starts at school, teaching our kids the right history.
Aboriginals in Quebec plan to change that and are demanding that the government correct history. A petition was launched in March calling for Quebec government to require that all Canadians in secondary school be taught the history of Aboriginal people and that it be mandatory and not elective.
It's to bring justice to this history that we want the history to be changed. That is taught in school. Obviously, we can understand it's still part of the colonialist policies to totally deny the mere existence of Aboriginal peoples in Canada. But we think it's time to change it.
This week, Montreal will play host to the Truth and Reconciliation Commission. The commission takes record and allows Aboriginals to tell their stories about Indian residential schools set up by the Canadian government and the impact it had on Aboriginal children. More than 150,000 First Nations were taken from their families and placed in these schools, many suffering from emotional, physical, and sexual abuse, overcrowding, unhealthy eating, and poor sanitation.
I think the government's just trying to cover it up, like smooth it over. We're going to have a big talk about it, but they're not really going to do anything. I don't think Harper's going to do anything. He's more and more trying to take the land away from the Native people.
In November 2010, Canada officially endorsed the United Nations Declaration on the Rights of Indigenous People. It acknowledges collective rights of Indigenous people as well as their rights to culture, identity, language, employment, health, education, and other issues. But many Aboriginals say that is simply the first step and injustices continue. But it's time to educate non-natives, they say, and that should be done by natives.
I think it's about due, but I don't see it happening, but I hope it does. I hope it does happen. But I think more and more we need to educate the non-natives about our history.
Thousands have already signed this petition, but thousands more are expected in the coming weeks. Aboriginals really feel as though they have a real momentum going in Canada. It will be brought before the government next month. Ashante Hathaway, Press TV, Montreal.